You know it's real when I have my crystals with me. It's your girl Leah. And I'm back with another video. If you guys are new, fairly new to my channel, my name is Leah and I post videos every single week. I want to say this video is more for me than it is for you guys. And I want to say this just because I need a cleanse. This is just something I don't want to bring necessarily into my new year, my new future, my new whatever I have planned. I need to get shit out of my life. And I feel like there's a lot of things this year that I've gotten out of my life because I faced it, dealt with it, and moved on. You know, that's how it's supposed to be. That's how you're supposed to move on with life. But when you just kind of suppress, it's always going to be there. This specific experience, time in my life, is something that changed my life forever. And it's something that I've always suppressed and never faced for many reasons. And I'll get into it eventually. This happened 4 years ago. And you would think 4 years later, girl, you're past it, it's out. And even though this situation might be one of those things that will never be out of my life, I believe, and I truly believe that it will stop coming back to me the way it comes back to me, because I'm facing it. I'm not even going to be making up names. I'm just using plurals and individuals. I don't know how to start this video because still to this day it doesn't make sense to me. I think I was confused. I still am confused about the situation. I never got answers. This is my sexual assault story. November 26th, 2017. I was 17 years old. I don't have nothing of that night because I remember that was one of the worst things that had ever happened in my life. I wanted everything deleted. I wanted no experiences. I wanted nothing from that day in sight. So I really took the time to delete everything. At the time, this person was my best friend. I truly solely thought that this person was my best friend, to the extent of hanging out with the person every single day. Came over to my house, I've been to their house, met their family, as in friends. Like, it was just friends that we were chilling, smoking, making jokes. Like, we grew up pretty much like knowing each other like that. That's how we were. That's why I feel like I was so confused by the night that this all took place. And it was like a big friend group that we had. It was not just me. I had a big friend group. It was I would say like 8 or 10 of us. Like, during we would ditch, just all of that. I was with my 2 girlfriends, right? We were hanging out and everything was fine. I think we had tried to go to a party and it got shut down right away. And so then we ended up just going back to her house. And I think it was early for me, and I was like, damn, I still want to do something. Like, that's kind of lame. And I was going to hang out at her house with her for a little bit, but she was saying that she kind of was tired and she was just going to go to sleep, and she asked if I wanted to spend the night. I pretty much was like, no, I don't really want to spend the night, but I didn't want to make her take me home because at the time I did not have a car. Coincidentally, I had another friend hit me up, and they're like, hey, like, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I'm with so-and-so, but she wants to go to sleep, like, blah, blah, blah. She's like, oh, like, come with us to so-and-so's house, and we are just, like, smoking, hanging out, like, it's a little kickback. And I was like, who's all there? They all explain. I'm like, oh, okay. this is my best friend's house. So I'm like, okay, bet. And they're like, okay, he's gonna come pick you up. I'm like, okay. So she's in the car, whatever, we go there. Everything's fine. Everything's literally so fine. And I figured I was gonna spend the night because they were all gonna spend the night. And everybody was sleeping on the couch, like on the floor. And I was like, oh, okay, this is lit. Like, we're just kind of having a sleepover on the couch and on the floor. Like, to me, this was regular shit because we were all close friends like this. Like, I'm saying, like, middle school to high school, close ass friends, right? At a point, it gets really blurry because I blacked out. Once I get there, I'll let you guys know. His sister. Do I say this? Why do I care? His sister and his sister's boyfriend were in the room. So definitely it wasn't like it was just a bunch of kids. It was like there was them there. So like anybody else would like think everything was fine. They had bought coke. They were all doing lines. I didn't do nothing. I just smoked. They were drinking. I don't think I was drinking at the time. I was just smoking. I was sober besides smoking. Towards the end of the night, everybody started getting tired, and it was me and my friend, this girl, and we had agreed that we were gonna take over the bed, and we were just gonna sleep on the bed, and it was just gonna be me and her, and that was our plan. And all I remember is I was actually tired. I was super tired. You know, I'm tired when my phone's plugged into the wall far away from me and I'm not even on my phone. So all I know is I'm half asleep and I know a little bit of what's going on. I pretty much get the hint that my friend that I was laying with, she had left. Like, and I didn't know if she had left to go to the bathroom or like, I didn't know what she left to do, but I thought she was coming back. And that's the last thing I remember before I fell asleep. And then the next thing you know, I have somebody waking me up, shaking me. Hey, wake up, wake up. And then I'm like, huh? And they're like, I know you've been wanting to do this. And I'm like, what? And they're like, kiss me. And I'm like, no, no. And then they're like, kiss me, like, it's okay, like, I know that you've been wanting to do this, like, I'm like, no, 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 no. I just remember saying no, no, no. And then felt my pants come completely down, like they were already unzipped or something. And then I was like, no, like, no. I said no, and then said the name, and I was like, no. And then I blacked out. And when I finally, like, when I came back to reality and realized what had happened, I rushed to put my clothes on and I didn't want to make a scene because I was embarrassed, and I just remember in the moment when I realized that my pants were down, it was just like, I can't scream. Like, if I was to scream, then I'm naked now. Like, I just remember there's so many thoughts in my head, and it just went blank. Everything went black. I mean, we were already in the dark, but I had gotten up, put my clothes on, and I was crying. And I just remember grabbing my phone, making sure I had everything I thought I had, and just leaving and saying, like, I need like leave, and I was gonna get a lift, and I was gonna walk home. I don't remember. I was gonna do one of the two. It was at that time, I do remember it was like super early, and I remember one of my friends. All my friends were like, "What's going on?" Like, I'm like, "Nothing. I'm fine." Like, I just realized I had to work in the morning and blah blah blah. And they're like, "Oh, okay." And then one of my friends had took me home at that time, and one of my other friends that was there had took me home, and I was just crying and crying and crying in the car. That's all I remember. And he had asked me, like, "Are you okay? Is everything okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, like, I'm okay." I don't think I think I didn't even say any words. That was it. Um, and then I just remember the next day, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to think. Nobody had said anything to me. But I had said something to my best friend, my other girl best friend, like from school best friend. And I was like, "You can't tell anybody," because my mom had told me, because my best friend, my girl best friend, was not there that night. Her parents were strict, and her parents didn't really let her go out like that. And so the next day, everybody had school, I believe, and I didn't go to school, and I had told my girl best friend, like, all this shit's going on, and that I have to get the cops involved, and like my mom was making me get the cops involved because I did not want the cops involved, because I've watched too many stories and nothing happens. Like, these cases aren't ever focused on. So I automatically was like, yeah, I don't want to do all that. Like, I don't want to go through talking to a police officer about the whole entire situation, and then going through all of this, and then going to court, and then me not even, like, nothing even happening, and I just wasted my time and my emotions. Like, I just didn't want to do that. And but my mom, I was like, all I wanted to do is just move schools and not talk to anybody ever again. That's literally what I thought I was gonna do in my head. Like, I'm just not gonna talk to anybody again. I'm just not gonna see anybody ever again. But my mom and stepdad enforced me to do the right thing and told me I needed to go to the police. When I had told my best friend, all of a sudden, the next day at school, I guess all these people found out. It started coming back to me. People were calling me. My friends from that night were calling me, and I remember I thought that all these people were my friends, which I feel like was the most hardest thing ever, is to not only go through that specific, not to only go through that, but have all these friends that don't believe you, and then having to start brand new, fresh. When people started finding out, two of my friends were like, "I need to come and see you, and we need to talk about this, right?" And I'm like, "Okay." And I just remember being in the car, and they were telling me, like, your accusations are like fucked up. Like, we were all there. They were just like, "We were all there that night. You could have screamed. You could have have did anything. They were telling me all the things I could have did, but didn't do. And I feel like that wasn't helping either, because it was just like, well, fuck, this is why nobody believes me, because I didn't do this. But I didn't want to do this because I was embarrassed. Or I didn't want to do this because this. Or I didn't do it because I was blacked out and nobody understood. I had like the whole entire school talking. But whoever told her whatever told him, and that caused him to get a lawyer before my detective could even approach him and interview him or do anything. I had moved schools, met brand new people. People knew me there, but I didn't know them. They didn't know my situation. It was nice. I had finished off my junior year there. I was in trauma therapy, and the trauma therapy I just couldn't do at the moment. It was too fresh for me. I couldn't just right off the bat just tell this lady everything that just happened when I had just told the cops 500 times, 5 different cops. Not only that, but like, I don't remember most of it, and I don't want to talk about it at that time. It was just so much and too much that I eventually didn't do trauma therapy, and I ended up hating that therapist. Switched therapists, switched therapies, and got better in that direction. That whole entire, I remember it was my first time ever disassociating, ever blacking out again. And I remember it was me and all my friends, and I was paranoid. I was super paranoid that every single party I was going to, he was going to be there, and I was going to be in the same room with the person, and I was going to be fucked. And I didn't know what I was going to do, if I was going to see his face. I didn't know what I was going to do. If I had to be in the same room, I didn't know. I did not know. Like, I was so scared. And I remember one day we had walked into this party, bro. And we instantly, like, I just turn, look up, and there he is. And I instantly blacked out, started hyperventilating. I couldn't breathe. I had to go outside of the car. Fuck, my sex life was fucked for years. Nobody knew, like, what the fuck I was going through because I was smiling. The past 4 years, nobody would have never known this situation. I feel like this is why it was something I never wanted to talk about, because it was just like, nobody knows unless I tell them. Like, I love my life now. I went through hell and back to get to this point, but despite the fact that that situation brought me trauma and brought me anxiety and brought me social anxiety, brought me trust issues, brought me out of my borderline. One of the biggest regrets I have is making myself ever feel like it was my fault because other people told me it was my fault, or told me that there was more I could have done, or told me you're a liar. I literally had to go to therapy because I felt like I was evil, like I was making up a lie, and I like deserved it, and like maybe I did do something that he was like, okay, yeah, or like, you know, but I said no. Years later, the case got dropped, and they didn't even tell me anything and didn't let me know, and I would still to this day not know if it wasn't for people that had told me about the situation. And like I had said in the beginning, I don't think that this is something that you could ever truly get over, but it is something that will eat you up if you suppress it. I'm crying because of how much hurt I went through. I just remember sitting in my bed at night hating myself because I feel like I did something and fucked it up because I lied, or I felt like I lied and I felt like I was fucked up and like I did something wrong and I shouldn't have said anything because I could have did more, and that he had the right to do all of that because I didn't do more and I didn't scream and I didn't do this and I didn't do that. Say nobody was fully 100% there for me the way my mom was. Things I lacked back then that I don't lack now. I went through all the pain to experience a beautiful future and a beautiful life, and I believe that that is beginning very soon. I always feel like I'm not heard when something happens to me. The only way I'm going to be heard is if I hear myself first. I'm sorry if this video was so long. I feel like this is something that I really needed to talk about, and I'm happy I finally got it off my chest because I've been having like a strong ass, like bold ass anxiety in my chest, and I just wanted it to be gone. I wanted it to be out. Yeah. But I love you guys all so much. And I shall see you guys in my next video. If you guys like this video, I don't even know. I don't even care. Okay, I'm done. This video is over. I love you guys all so much. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.